Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? This is actually the second episode of the show that I've decided to record today, which is a first for me. Welcome to Brad's Bad Show About Games. My name is Brad, and I am not a vicious, man-eating dinosaur. But there is no shortage of them on the Fortnite island. As the first big update for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 6 has come, update 16.10, we now have Raptors on the island. And they're a pretty fun addition, in my opinion. They've been teasing these for a while. We knew they were coming. They're finally here. They're big and green, and some of them are a little red, and some of them are a little yellow, which I think it's nice that there's a little bit of variety to them. I think they're a pretty fun addition. Unfortunately, it looks like it was rumored that you could ride them, but that's not the case. You can tame them, and they will follow you around and fight for you, but you can't ride them, unfortunately. That would have been cool, though. Maybe that'll be part of a later update. You know, we're almost a month into the new season. The season actually supposed to end, I think, June 8th, which is like 2 months and a week, just under a week. So the season's trucking along. This is cool. Like, I like the animals roaming around, and like, by the way, I can't remember if I talked about this yet. I think that it's confirmed now that the loot sharks are gone. So now the fish in the water, the deadly fish in the water, has been replaced by deadly dinosaurs. So I'm glad they're there. It's always fun because, like, you know, they'll spawn in certain places, but it's just cool. Like, people had thought before that like Stealthy Stronghold was a Jurassic Park reference, and now there's dinosaurs on the map. I don't think they actually spawn in Stealthy Stronghold, though. I don't think any of the animals spawn there. I could be wrong, though. I don't particularly drop it stealthy, so I'll have to test that theory out. But yeah, this is cool. I wonder if, like, one of the things that I had wondered is, with these guys being on the island now, what are the odds that a bigger dinosaur shows up down the line? Now, from what I understand is, if I remember right, these guys were always in the file as far as like for the new season. So from day one, we knew that dinosaurs were supposed to be coming. So I wonder what would the chances be of, like, say, the chances of like a giant T-Rex spawning on the island as like a singular dinosaur in one or two spots that will follow you all over the map if it gets you in its sights. Like, that would be an interesting idea, in my opinion, to have just one giant dinosaur. But I don't think they'll do that. This is good, though. This is good enough for me. I haven't done any videos with the dinosaurs yet, but I definitely have a video or two planned specifically for the dinosaurs. I know that the Tirana skin, or Tirana, I think that's how you're supposed to say her name. Gonna do a video with her. Got some more ideas. Hopefully they'll be funny. Anyway, glad to see the dinos are finally in the game. But it's also Easter time now. Sorry for the low quality image, though. That's the best I could find of all these Easter skins. But we're finally starting to get the Easter stuff. There's a free pickaxe you can earn by doing the most recent set of challenges in the game. I think it goes to those weird Five Nights at Freddy looking skins there, the ducks. I think those are definitely supposed to be inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's. That they were rumored to be coming to the game, but that never happened. Apparently, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy said there is no collaboration in the works, so that kind of got shot down right away. I don't think I'm going to be picking any of these skins up. If I was to get one, it would be the Dutch skin, which is the one up front, the suit with the big rabbit mask, the big rabbit head mask. That's the coolest one. It's 3 variations. That would be the best one in my opinion. But yeah, you get an opportunity to, which by the way, this comes with the egg launcher weapon. Apparently that's back. It shoots Easter eggs, which serve as grenades. So it's kind of like Banjo-Kazooie with grenade eggs. Not a fan of that weapon. I've used it a little bit. Not a fan. It does a lot of damage, but the eggs bounce and they don't shoot forward. So unless you're pretty good at aiming and figuring out like trajectory and stuff and counting for the bounce and all, and it's a little bit of a delayed explosion. Yeah, not a super big fan of the weapon personally. There's also Easter eggs hidden around the map under trees, usually from where I've seen them, that will restore your health, I think, a little bit, maybe some shield too, just a little bit, but it gives you your super jump ability for a short period of time, because bunnies. So that's also the big challenge for this week. The legendary challenge is to consume Easter eggs. So you'll get a lot of experience for doing that. I think that's the one where you get the free pickaxe. So find your 10 Easter eggs. You get some experience and the free pickaxe. Do the whole thing and you get a whole bunch of experience. They're also starting the Spire quests now, which are part of the story. Give you a lot of experience. The next set, I think, unlocks in like 10 days or so. So that'll be fun. That's not really much to put a picture up for. But these skins were leaked with the most recent update. And so were these. The Anime Legends pack, which is supposed to be coming, I guess, at some point before the next update. And these look awesome, man. Like, I'm first and foremost, I'm glad that anime skins in Fortnite are hopefully going to continue to be a thing, because they just stand out so much. And I hope that this will extend to other cartoon characters that are brought in from, say, like the animated universe. So, like these 3 here, of course, they're going to continue on from like the Lexa and Orin style cell shaded skins that give them more of the look that they're supposed to be cartoon characters or anime characters from an anime game. And I think, though, that these designs are way better than Lexa and Orin. So, like, Lexa was the default anime girl, and she's a pretty popular skin in her base form. These have a lot more going for them, and I think these are going to be very popular, too. So now if you pick the anime girl skin in Fortnite, you've got choices. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. I think one of them's like named Megumi. I think one's named Yuki. I can't tell you, like, wait, hold on. I think it's Megumi, Chigusa, or something like that. And Yuki, I think. I can't remember which one is which, though. But I think their collective name set, actually, like, I think it's called the Anime Legends Pack. I could be wrong. It's what some people say. But I've also heard that, the official name for their set is like the Cyber Infiltration pack or something like that, or set. It's one of the two or whatever. So I'm wondering, though, with that name, is there a potential link to Lexa and Orin? Like, are these from the same in-game universe that they are, or are these completely different characters? I'm just curious to the lore surrounding them. But I think they look cool. They each have like their own sort of thing going. I'm not sure which one I would say is my favorite, because like the one on the left with the long hair and the baseball cap, like I like her outfit more. I kind of like the first one though, the one in the middle with the blush. She looks like, people have pointed out, she looks like a cartoony version of Jules because she's got the tatted, arm sleeves and everything, and she's got the double black pigtails. So their designs are very similar too. But I like the shade of like the dark bluish black outfit she's got on. But then I also really like the one on the right, with the blue hair, with the big sweatshirt and the skirt, and then she has an alternate version where her hood is down, and you can see that you can see anyway on her with the hood up that she's listening to music, but when you take the hood down, she's got on this big pair of headphones, so that's really cool. So I couldn't really tell you which one of these is my favorite, but I do hope that this is a sign that they're going to keep making anime skins. Hopefully they'll do a little bit more variety so that they're not all like super tech themed. I don't really know what you would call these. These characters sort of remind me of Astral Chain for some reason, especially the one on the left. But I don't know. They remind me of Astral Chain. Not that they look like directly from that, but they look like they're sort of similarly themed in their design. I don't know. That's just what comes to mind when I think about them. But I also wonder if this means that there's a chance that we'll see some actual like licensed anime characters show up at some point. Like imagine Spike Spiegel or the Major from Ghost in the Shell. I've been thinking about doing videos from the YouTube channel where I pick like a handful of characters from various media that I think would be fun skins to have if they're gunslingers or bounty hunters or something like that. Like Spike, the Major, there's definitely some. Vash the Stampede from Trigun. There's all kinds of gunslinger characters in anime that would make for good skins. But maybe this is them, testing the waters to see how much people like the idea of anime being in Fortnite. I've also had the idea, what if Epic does an anime series, a short anime series, like Fortnite the anime. I don't know what they would call it, but where they actually pay a Japanese anime studio to produce like maybe a 12 episode short series, an OVA series with like 3 or 4 episodes featuring some original characters about, the island. That would be interesting. I mean, what's the difference between doing that and doing a collab comic series with DC with Batman? There's not really a difference. It's just a different kind of collab. So I could see them potentially, spending the money on a short anime series of their own, or some short OVA series that gets uploaded to their YouTube channel, or that you can watch in Party Royale or something like that. That would be a cool event. Like imagine that, like you're like for Party Royale, or because I know they did like that indie animation thing or indie films thing a while back. They imagine that Epic premieres their own anime series in Party Royale, or whatever that's called. Like yeah. Like, I think that's where they did the film festival thing. I think it was in Party Royale. Anyway, yeah, that would be cool in my opinion. So, maybe that'll happen. But anyway, one more thing from Fortnite before we move on. Is yesterday was April 1st, April Fool's Day, and the prank for yesterday was not so much as a prank, so much as a just surprise, funny gag skin. It is the Diamond Hands skin, which was directly inspired by the STONKS meme that was going around at the time of the big, in the big trading thing with GameStop stocks were being undervalued because the market investors were trying to manipulate its. They were trying to force its demise as a company. And they were selling stocks. They were selling more stocks than were available to buy, and at a lower price than they were actually worth. And so some people on Reddit noticed that this was happening and knew that it, of course, this is the kiss of death for a business. So what did they do? They all got together and started buying the stocks because they were selling for so low. They were selling for lower than what they were worth. And so suddenly you have a group of people in mass, buying up all these stocks to GameStop, and it drives the price up to the point that it's the most valuable company in the market when it's actually on its last legs. And it just kind of exposed how terrible and how much BS the stock market actually is, that just a bunch of people on Reddit decided to buy up a bunch of stocks for companies. And they did this with more than just GameStop. And it drove stock prices up to the point that the government started getting involved. Websites specifically tailored to trade stocks were halting them, saying, no, you can't buy the stock anymore. And people were getting sued for it. Like, hey, you're preventing us from being able to do this. We have the right to do this, the legal right to do this. You can't tell us we can't. And it was all just to protect the hedge funds. And it was all to protect these people who gamble with other people's money in the stock market, and they don't have anything to risk to lose because they know all the inside secrets. They can shortchange the businesses, and when they feel like there's a company they don't think deserves to exist anymore, they know how to manipulate the system to kill that company off. And so just a bunch of people who like games decided, it may not even been necessarily the people who like games, but a lot of people made a lot of money off of that stuff. And it was a mess. I don't know if it's still actually going on. I think it may to a smaller degree. But anyway, all that aside, this is a funny skin. The back bling is somewhat reactive. It, like, the arrow dings and makes a sound and glows slightly when you get a kill. So it's not a giant reaction. It's not as good as the Chun-Li Street Fighter cabinet reaction and all that stuff. But it's a fun little skin. The face doesn't animate at all. It's only 1,200 V-Bucks. I had a little bit more. I had like 2,800 V-Bucks at the time. I was like, I'll buy it. It's fine. So, nice, fun little skin. I like his suit. He's got actual diamond hands. Considering that's his name is Hands, S-A-N-Z. So, this is a fun little skin. I don't know. I haven't seen too many other people using it when I've played. I played yesterday trying to do the new weekly challenges. But anyway, this is a fun little skin. If you got it, I don't see them making this limited. They'll probably be in regular rotation now because the surprise is ruined. There's no reason to make it exclusive to this day. So hopefully everybody who likes the skin picked it up. But before we move on, I guess I should go ahead and talk about this since we're transitioning out of Fortnite talk. Don't really have much to say about it other than it's kind of sad, but our favorite ex-Nintendo president is leaving the GameStop. I guess it was board of directors that he was a part of or whatever it was. Old Reggie stepping away from GameStop. Like, people had so much hope that he was going to be, a force for good to help pull GameStop out of its spiraling, demise. But it looks like nothing's going to stop that. It's sad. I was really hopeful. But what can you do? I'll be curious to see what Reggie does after this now, Because I don't remember there being all that much time between him leaving Nintendo and then jumping to GameStop. But who knows? It looks like GameStop probably is headed for the end, which is sad. I would hate to see that go because we need a GameStop. We just need a better one. But anyway, this is something that showed up. It's kind of fun and maybe proves that this game is trying to be a little bit of its own smash in Fortnite as well. Kung Fu Panda. The Kung Fu Panda. And I have this image is messed up. Let me fix it. There we go. Kung Fu Panda is being added to Brawlhalla. So you can now have Poe fight Lara Croft, Rayman, and the Macho Man Randy Savage in this game. Like, I haven't played a lot of Brawlhalla. I've played it like 2 or 3 times, but you got to give credit to where games are able to make fun crossovers happen. Like, Smash obviously is the king of the video game crossovers. Second place, I would say, I don't know, would you say Fortnite or Kingdom Hearts is a better crossover? Because Kingdom Hearts is, if you take Final Fantasy out of Kingdom Hearts, then it's just Disney. Granted, it's a whole bunch of Disney, but it's still just Disney. So, at least here, you're getting a bunch of different characters. Like I said, you can have Tigress and, oh God, what's his name? What's the leopard's name? Tai Lung. Yeah. Which, by the way, I love the first Kung Fu Panda movie. I haven't seen the second two, but the first one is a great film. One of my favorite animated films I've ever seen. So definitely watch the first Kung Fu Panda if you haven't. I've heard people say that the second and third one are just as good. I think some said it may even be better. So I definitely want to check those out at some point. But anyway, you can have Tigress, Poe, and Tai Lung fight. Who all's in it? The Rock, John Cena, I think's in there. The Undertaker. I mean, not to mention that there's other characters in there. Hellboy's in there. Like I said, Lara Croft, who just got into Fortnite, is in there. Steven Universe, Adventure Time. I mean, it's crazy. But hopefully, some of these characters, more of these characters keep showing up. I hope Brawlhalla will still stick around. But this was just a funny little thing that I saw. And again, crossovers work. And they get people's attention. So I'm going to have to try to play Brawlhalla again at some point. And I'm just going to wrap it up with this little bit here about the games with gold. I think this is a pretty good list. I think last month's wasn't all that impressive to me. I still save the ones. I'm now at the point where I'm going to claim every game, even if I don't download it. That way, at least I can get it later. But this here is a pretty good list. Let me enlarge it so I can actually read the game titles for you guys. And you've got the first one, which comes out, which is out now, is Vikings. I think it's called Wolves of Midgar or something like that. Of course, I had to pick another. Maybe it's not Midgar. I don't know. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting little game here. Truck racing, where you race big 18-reelers, these big rigs, but the big rigs are loaded with stuff you're hauling, and you have to take into account, I think it says you have to take into account aerodynamics and the weight of your load when you're racing. So that's an interesting little thing. I might check that out a few times. Dark Void. Don't know much about that one or the other one. I can't remember what it says. Something Uprising. God, why did I pick low quality video pictures? Anyway, I know the last one is like a side scroller game. Anyway, those look pretty cool. You might want to check those out. Again, free games are always fun. I'm gonna pick up all 3 of these. I mean, I can't even count. 4 of these, and that'll be interesting. But that's really all I got. I just didn't want to get piled up too much on Fortnite stuff since so much was happening. And it looks like this is going to be a very busy season. Because, before I sign off here, some of the locations on the Fortnite map are starting to become fortified with primal stuff. So it looks like the island's primal, I don't know, infection, but just the corruption, I guess you could say, is starting to change. The 0 point appears to be maybe growing unstable again from within the the spire. The tire. God, what's wrong with me? There are tiny crystals now coming out of the spiral. Spire? God, I cannot say the word spire. Tiny crystals are starting to spout out, just like if you remember in the last season, there were giant purple crystals in the crater left from where Galactus, destroyed the agency, and it had become a giant desert. Well, now those crystals, it looks like they're starting to come back. So I can't help but wonder if something big is going to happen mid-season where the map undergoes another drastic change. Probably not, because that doesn't seem to be something that they're going to do. Then again, season 3, the map was flooded and a large portion of it was covered in water, which slowly receded as the season went, and then when it was gone, they introduced driving. So there's a chance that the map could evolve through the season, but I don't know. It seems like the water stage was not necessarily that big of a change because the rest of the map largely stayed the same underneath. It just had water. But some of the old locations were hidden while the water was up, and they returned when the water they returned to normal when the water went back down. So I guess we'll find out what happens. Anyway, that's all I got today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk. Maybe we'll have some more interesting stuff. Only other thing I could think before I sign off again, Mario is gone. Mario is dead. All those services and stuff have been ended. Cannot get Mario 35. You can't play Mario 35 anymore as far as I'm aware. Mario Brothers 3 All-Stars is apparently was recently added to the GameStop site again. I'm guessing because the physical copies, they still have those. They're still selling the ones they have. I've already seen people posting pictures from like eBay and stuff or Amazon where people are already starting to charge like $20,000 for a physical copy of this game. Like, I beg you, please don't spend that much money on that game. Please don't. Please don't pay somebody $20,000 for a game they only paid $60 for. I know that value is subjective because people are willing to pay anything that they feel is worth paying for. But at the same time, don't get ripped off like that. Anybody charging $20,000 for that Mario game didn't want it. And so, let them be stuck with it. They paid money that could have went to something else that they actually wanted to keep. Instead, they bought it wanting to make a fortune off of it when the time came. Don't do that. There's a big difference between having something that you enjoy and like, that you bought years and years ago. Suddenly you need money for it, and you find out like 20 years later that it might actually be worth something, and you get rid of it. You don't buy, I don't like when people buy something, which I guess is just how, maybe this is just how collectors are, but I personally am not a fan of buying something specifically for the purpose of selling it later. If I buy something, it's because I want it. I'm not going to buy a stuffed animal or an action figure or a CD or a video game or a movie or a controller, anything. Or even a t-shirt or something like that, or a pair of shoes. I'm not going to buy something in the hopes that, in a few months it'll be worth a lot of money, and then I'm gonna sell it and I'll be rich. I'm like, why? Or maybe not even rich, but just have a little bit more money than I had before. Like, no. You should only ever buy things because you want to own them. But I mean, like I said, I guess that could be part of, like, I guess that's part of the collecting culture, though, is that's how collectors do stuff, is they obtain stuff, and then there's certain other things. So I don't know. I just don't buy don't buy 3 old Super Mario games for $20,000. Just go emulate it at that point. I'm still waiting to see if they actually will put those 3 games from the All Stars collection up online for like separately to be sold, and if they rebrand Mario 35 the game as a battle royale in the future. Guess we'll just have to wait for the next Nintendo Direct to find out. But anyway, that's all I got now. I'm sorry for extending the show a little bit, but thanks for listening in. Like and subscribe. Go check out all this other stuff I've talked about. Watch my other videos, and we will see you later.